Hey, what's going on, you kings and queens? So, one fast video for you. I just ask this so often, how to make videos with your phone. Now, I've been doing video creation and marketing for 5 years now, and I still use the phone as my main source for camera. And here's the 4 biggest tips on actually doing that for yourself, and also throw in some stuff you can use to add some extra bonuses for that, make it even better for you. And before I get into that, let's just make one big distinction. Nowadays, all you need is your phone to run a business to be successful. Like, take Ty Lopez for example. He has reached millions and millions of people and gathered millions and millions of dollars all from using a phone. Let that sink in. And one of the biggest tips I have for you, number 1, is just to be authentic and realize, it's more about the content you create, what you're saying, that really matters. So you can have a nice Canon DSLR that has awesome specs to it and the best lenses for it. But at the end of the day, there is no excuse not to create content. Last year alone, I reached over 500,000 people, and this year I had over 200 hours watched my YouTube channel. And I did this all from my S9 Plus, which is why I bought this phone in the first place, was for the camera. When I first started off making pictures, making videos, I used my S6 that I used to have. So the first one I'll keep in mind, be authentic. Realize that it's all about what you have to offer the world, what you have to say. Obviously, tonality and body language and some settings and lights make a difference. But at the end of the day, the biggest thing I can teach you guys and tell you is be authentic. Number 2, lighting. So for me, I use a ring light that makes me a lot more better. But back in the day, I would just face the window and I had the light face me. So if it's light behind you, you look all dark and fuzzy and you don't want that. So number 2 is make sure you utilize lighting you have. If you need to get a lamp, have a lamp facing you or the window facing you, do what you can. Or even you need to use the camera light, have the phone turn the other way, so light's facing you. And then make sure you test it before you actually go all the way. Tip number 3, never have your phone camera up and down. That way, it'll be all black on the sides, and you don't want that. And no one wants to see that kind of content, and it lacks a lot of depth and also professionalism. So whenever you do it, make sure you have it in landscape mode, and you have it face long ways towards you and other things you want to look at. Now granted, you can, and there's obviously people like Ty Lopez, for example, who has had his phone up and down, and it's made do. So you can do it if you want to, but since you're already using the phone in the first place, I would definitely make sure you have it in landscape mode. And number 4, make sure that your thing is stabilized. Like I said before, I use a ring light that has a little camera holder for me, but you can even use stuff like the Gorilla Pod that grips onto stuff and holds onto stuff for you. Attach to anything you want to. Or a tripod. I used this tripod for the longest time, so I got this my ring light. And then if you even want to go that step further, there's people out there who use books as their stand for them, or have a friend hold it for them. Just make sure it's steady and not too shaky. But in the day, like I said, number 1 tip is just be authentic. Do what you have, and people will admire that and actually appreciate what you're doing, what you're sharing, and be inspired with it themselves. It's like, wow, this person is using the phone and it has it on some books and it's still making amazing content. It'll be a huge thing for you as well. And like I said, when I first started off, I didn't have anything and I had no idea what I was doing. And now, 5 years later, I'm reaching thousands and thousands of people, all because I took my camera and used it for its full potential. And then as a bonus tip for you, make sure that you're always just obvious, in a quiet place, and have not too much behind you. Have a painting and a tapestry. So for the most part, you just focus on what I'm talking about, what I'm doing. That'd be a huge benefit for you. So drop below, what are you using now? What kind of camera do you have? Or what kind of phone do you have? And let me know, when are you going to post your first video? I'd love to see it and see how it comes along for you and how my tips have helped you. As always, you're all kings and queens. The world is yours. But just remember, it all starts with you. Love you all. Have the best day yet.